The market continues the C wave down and is now testing key support. Can the bulls hold on? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market moved down in the C wave yesterday as expected and is now testing key support, which will be a big test for the bulls. It does look like there can be one more push down to end this C wave, assuming the bulls can hang on. I'll get into all that in just one second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the charts, as always, my members are always so kind at the end of the day. I want you to see a couple things they said because that's why I do this. I do this to help traders like you who might be struggling to beat the market actually make money in the stock market. I want to help you and give you an education. So really grateful for those guys and everything in my room. And if you want to join, I will talk about that later in the video. Okay, so let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and we talked about this area here wanting to bounce up, and it did a little bit. It came up a little bit short of our lower fib cluster, but we did say after that we would expect a strong move down, and that's exactly what we saw. So we got that wave 3 down, then they bounced it up in wave 4, and now it looks like they need one more low down here into the pivot and down toward our 38.2 fib to complete this C wave around that 44.30 area. So overall on the S&P 500, things are pretty well going according to the plan. The big question is, can the bulls hold support? And I do think that they will. We're seeing bottoming signals on the 4 hour chart, which is a pretty strong indication that we can get a sizable reverse. And that's exactly what we'd be looking for down here, is a strong reversal up in wave 5 of 1 to complete wave 1. So with those bottoming signals and the structure playing out pretty much as planned, we would expect support to hold and the reversal. However, if they cannot hold support, okay, and our line in the sand is 43.69 here. If they break 43.69, all right, then it's an indication that the bullish move up has failed, and we would be likely testing the lows again at that point down around the 4,000 level. So all in all, pretty straightforward on the S&P 500. The only little wrinkle could be that this is the low, the spike low down here, because we do have a 5-wave structure up. It's a micro 5, and those aren't always reliable. But we do have a 5-wave structure up, but it looks better as a wave 4 and 5 down. So I do expect another low. However, it is possible they could push up from here. Okay, so just to recap, we're looking for a push down into this support area and then a reversal from the bulls to complete wave C and start wave 5 up. And if they cannot hold the support area and it breaks down below our 43.69 line in the sand, then it becomes very likely that this move up has failed and we are going down to test the lows. All right, so over on the NASDAQ, we have a different set of circumstances. While the pattern looks the same, the levels are a little bit different, so we need to go through that. So right now it looks just like the ES where the wave C is moving down and we would expect another low. The problem is that the level they pushed down to was almost our make or break level. Now, there is a bit of an alternate count on the NASDAQ, and the reason for that is how high we pushed off of the lows, okay? I've questioned whether this was wave 3 at the top or not, but they pushed almost to the 2.0 extension, and that's a very common target for all of wave 1. So when you're creating a 5-wave structure to create wave 1, okay, the 2.0 extension is usually the target for the completed wave 1. And they pushed almost all the way up to that. So it is possible that the move up was all of wave 1, and we'd be looking for a wave 2 down at that point, and that changes our support levels quite a bit. So for that alt count to play out, a couple of things need to happen. First, they need to break 14,370 here. Okay, that's our key support area. If they break 14,370 on the way down, and okay, the S&P can hold its key support level and keep its bullish structure going, then this scenario can play out as this is all of 1, and we're getting a wave 2 pullback that will hold support and bounce from there. The reason the S&P is involved, most of the time it's every chart on its own. You look at each chart and break it down on its own. However, if the S&P breaks its line in the sand and that bullish structure is going to come down, then it's going to be very hard for the NASDAQ to rally while the S&P is coming down because the indexes trade too closely together and cross over so much. So we would like to see the S&P hold its support level if the NASDAQ breaks its support level, because that just shifts us over into a wave 2 count for the NASDAQ, and that alternate count then plays out. Okay, so basically what we're watching for on the NASDAQ is this 14,370 level. If it breaks, Okay, our next support level down is 14,159. And then our final support level that this could possibly be is the 13,897 at the 764 retrace. If it gets all the way down to the 764, it's very unlikely the S&P is going to hold its support level. So I would say that this support level is not in play. It's going to come down to 14,159 and the 14,370 areas as to where we can expect the NASDAQ to find support. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, as well as being part of a trading group that's really like a family, helps everybody out, and tries to beat the market together, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. Okay, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you right over to the website. Once you get there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to experience it, make sure you love it, make sure it's exactly what you want it to be before you ever pay a penny. The first room is the Invest with Jacob room. That's my room, okay? And there you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, as well as all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade in there. So our trades last anywhere from a few days to a few months, and it's not as often as a day trading room might trade. However, if you are looking for day trading and individual stocks as well, you want to check out PT's Throne Room. And there you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading, individual stocks, and PT's incredible reduced risk binary trading method that absolutely crushes the market. You really need to see it to understand it and see how powerful it is. He is one of the best traders I've ever been around. You see the comments on here every day about how people are so happy they found him. He's been trading the market for over 30 years. He understands it better than anybody I've ever been around. So guys, we would love for you to come in there, check us out, and let's make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We're looking for one more low down here to complete the C wave down into our pivot box. We would look for support at 44.29, but it definitely needs to hold that 43.69 line in the sand down here. Over on the NASDAQ, we do have a little bit of an alt count that we talked about. Okay, so they need to hold 14.370 to keep this wave 4 count alive. If they do that, we can see a bounce up in wave 5 to complete wave 1. Otherwise, because of the height of the 2.0 extension that they almost pushed this up to, this can be all of wave 1, and if that's the case, this would be a wave 2 pullback, which would pull back much deeper than the pivot. Okay, for that to play out, again, we need to see a break of 14.370, but also the S&P really needs to hold its support zone so that they both can rally in unison, as these markets basically trade in step. So it's going to be very hard for one of them to rally while the other one is sinking. So S&P needs to hold its support, and the NASDAQ needs to find support most likely at the 14,159 level, which is the 618 retrace for wave 2. Otherwise, if they keep it above 14,370, we are looking for a move up to complete wave 5 up here, and that would complete wave 1 on the NASDAQ. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.